much in creator stuff.
Oopsie! Ah!
Oh. It is, but
It is.
I think that
chat. Wait, say it again?
His
Sven
once is the best
Unst.
once.
Sven Unst, Bjorn Unst.
Yes, yes. Speaking of
Dude,
which,
did you see
welcome
the...
everyone to the Renegade Run Podcast, episode 49, the Unst edition, and we're gonna Unst it up real hard this evening. Thank you everyone for jumping in. Of course, I gotta give the crowning Mr. Early to Mr. Andrew Cullinane for always being so early, which is amazing. And Timmy Riskett is here. Crippling debt. I would say crippling diet. Aren't they all? Am I right? Thank you for jumping in here and hanging out with us. It's gonna be fun. Share this out. Tweet it out if you're a Twitter person. Anyway, this will be fun. I feel like I've been gone for so long. I was gone for 4 days, and it feels like we haven't done the show in 2 weeks. But hey, look, here we are. And I'm joined by Holly, that blue number, DeMarco Dude, and our very, very special friend, Jonas. Well, he's not special. He's special, but not like... Anyway, Jonas, thanks for jumping in last minute. How are you,
Tell us about how
man?
special he is. I want to know more about this.
He's so special. He's so special that he
Special.
donates his hair every single Wednesday, and because it's Mr. Wednesday because of Odin, and it just keeps growing back because he's the one that Odin has given the What's up, Jonas? How are you, man? What you been into?
Hello. Yeah, no. I've been playing Helldivers. I've been playing a lot of Helldivers. Well, not a lot. Just some. I've been waiting in the lobby as well.
Which is also great.
Oh, it's also a game. That's a game in its own.
Is it? Is
The
it one of those
lobby
like
is-
interactive?
Will I or
loading
won't
screens?
I? Will I or won't I? Retry.
Yeah, you ever
No,
you ever
no,
flip
you
a
just-
coin? It's
You just sort of
Dude,
take
that
a
every, like,
gamble
40
as to whether or
seconds.
not you get in, but it does have some
Okay.
sick music.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. What's the tone of the music? What kind of genre?
Democracy.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, right. That's exactly what I pictured.
It's very
I love
stoic. Yes.
Lots of trumpets and stuff. Okay.
Lots of trumpets. It's like Star Wars if you take out the Imperial part of it, like the military sounding, and you just replace it with here's an 80s action hero going on a spree to save America.
Super Earth.
Super Earth.
That's amazing. I love it. Well, Jonas, again, thank you so much for jumping on last minute. I know it's late for you. It's like 12:12. Ooh, make a wish.
12:12.
Make a wish.
This he can't make excuses anymore. He was up until like
I
6
was
a.m.
up
his
late.
time playing Helldivers with me last night.
Right. We stayed up playing, or sorry, I mean, we stayed up playing. We Happy Few. No. Lethal Company that one night, and it was like 3-4 o'clock in the morning for him as well. So he's used to having fun.
I'm a
He's
night owl.
Fine.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
fine.
fine. He's fine.
He's fine.
Also,
Just give him some
Holly,
water.
you have been playing things as well. How have you been? What's going on with you?
Good. I've been playing Helldivers with Brisket, who doesn't actually play Helldivers. He just plays how much friendly fire can I get in a
I
match.
just watched the clip where he runs up and just like nothing's going on, and he just stands by you and then just. runs
I
away.
saw
Yeah,
that.
no,
I was
usually he
like, what?
usually he totally kills me. That was just
Okay.
hey, haha.
I love
And
that.
I don't know why friendly fire is a thing. The fact that you have a finite number of respawns can It can also be a problem. I am not in your way. I have proof. I posted it today. I was literally standing there,
There was
and you
nothing
came and you
going
took
on.
out my arm.
Stay out of this. Stay out of my way. I have a 90-degree cone you need to stay out of.
He throws down an orbital strike, and then he's like, "Oh, by the way, move," as it's killing you. It's fantastic.
The way I play.
I mean, I've heard that is like the fun of the game. That there is a lot of friendly fire, so you gotta kind of try to be careful. Yeah.
The game. So I've been playing that. Like, the game has problems or things that the quality of life stuff that I would like to be changed, but
some options. Yeah.
yeah, but it's just a good time, and it's a stupid laugh, and I don't know that it would be as much fun if you didn't have friends to play with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
been playing that.
It's a really great cover shooter. That's good that you. Colt's not here. That was a joke. I love you, Colt.
He covered that last night.
Yeah, I saw it just for a minute. I was standing in line getting a drink which was like 74 miles long, and I was like, "This drink is gonna be $15." Yep, and that's kind of why I'm broke. But, anyway, no, he knows. But yeah, I saw that for a little bit, and shout out to Colt. He made me so mad when I saw everything going on online. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that was good to see you on. I'm sorry. Were you done? Was that all that's happening in your life?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Bumping through other random games, but Helldivers has been kind of the fun one. And The Division 2. I've been playing that.
Ooh. It
with
got an update
people.
today.
With you, too. Yeah, maybe some season stuff. Because they still do seasons all the time. Year 5, Season 3, and stuff like that. So,
Right.
maybe some stuff like that. But I definitely want to go back to that because it's just fun. Good
It
time.
is fun. It's fun. You run up on a group,
Oh,
and it's all tactical. Yeah.
DeMarco, sorry, interrupting you.
No, please.
I made it past the angler,
Nice.
Without
But then I
resetting,
died.
That's awesome. Oh,
but I
that's
died like
fine.
4 rounds later. But I beat him. So
And now you
I'm
get
gonna have to go back
continue
and
your journey. I'm so excited.
Yes.
It's
So-
such a good game.
It is amazing.
Yes. It's a very good game.
And what's cool is then you could hop into Pony Island 2, which is coming out.
Yes,
they
which
all-
is on my wish list.
hmm
Yes.
And they all are like in the same universe.
And I have
all the
Pony
characters.
Island 1 on my computer. I started it just a little bit, but not very much. But
Damn, can't wait for you to stream it for your first video on your channel.
I'm so excited.
I
too.
should. That
There
would
you
be,
go.
except it'd be horribly embarrassing because the puzzles in those games are damn hard. So
Yeah, well, you just edit
People
that part out.
people love to backseat game.
that's
true.
true.
That's
But you
true.
gotta have people watching you to actually achieve that. So it's like-
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, this show
Anyway.
we were streaming to ourselves for a good while, but before 13 people ended up in chat. Shout out to everyone hanging out with us. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you, DeMarco. How are you, man? Missed you.
Missed you. I'm in the Helldivers squad.
Nice.
Last night I had 3 different groups of people like, oh dude, you trying to play Helldivers right now? And I was in one chat, and then a friend who's like in different channels with me saw that I was in a voice chat. He joined into it and is like, hey, you guys looking for Helldivers squad? There's already 4 of us that are like, for America. I'm sorry, for Super Earth. And we're all like, for Super Earth. And we're all just, completely and he's like, all right, you guys are busy, bye. Let's leave. So I'm fully, and then I had Jonas asking like, hey, you playing some Helldivers with us right now? So I'm fully locked into that. I'm absolutely loving it. It's a blast. And what I can really appreciate it too, it does have, I'm curious to know what, Holly, you think some of the problems are with it. But I don't have too many issues with the game, but what I really can appreciate about it is the way the difficulty changes the types of missions that you have available. And like I was just playing a lot of medium because I was playing solo and I was maybe with 2 people, and so I was playing
same.
many missions on medium. And then we started doing some on challenging, and it opened up all new missions to do. So I saw in all these reviews people saying there's so much mission variety. And it all boils down to run to this place, do a tiny thing, and shoot more bugs, right? So I don't think giving it super credit for the mission variety is necessarily the best praise, if I'm being honest, because, you know, it's go here and turn this lever. Oh, this time you gotta activate a terminal before you turn the lever. It's like, oh, mission design. Is it really though? So, but it does open up a bit where you start, you know, that's not really the point. You know, you go there, you blow up a munitions depot, you blow up a tower, you blow up a bug's nest, you know, set off a gigantic mini nuke, whatever it might be. So it does widen the deeper you go, and I like that a lot about it. But it's fun. It is just mindless, awesome. Turn off your brain fun.
Yeah, and it seems like, you know, from what I've heard, again, for people watching, I haven't played it. I will someday. But the consensus is that it's just fun. It's just a fun game, like you guys have said. And, you know, we can just talk everything about the game. What I'm really interested to talk about is that it was a success. And people have been asking Sony for multiplayer. Not that they've been asking, it's just that it sort of seems to be missing in comparison to the catalog and the type of the genre that PlayStation usually has, you know, cinematic experiences and whatnot. And then they finally put out this game, and it seems to be what that fan base has been missing. And I've seen a lot of talk, not only or like even the fan base is like forgetting that it's exclusive, which I've been seeing that a lot. And maybe like the same way that I, after playing Starfield for a little while, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, this is only on this console. But Helldivers seems to be a breath of fresh air in the PlayStation space, but more so just on PC, because that seems to be where the majority of people are playing. I meant to ask, is everyone on PC? You guys are all on PC?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation.
Oh.
But it is crossplay, so...
No.
Yeah.
Do you have a PlayStation, Red?
I have PS4 somewhere.
Oh,
no, it's right over there. But yeah, I just have a PS4. I only have it because I have a couple games on there that I haven't finished, like Bloodborne and some other stuff. I don't even know what I have on there. I only bought the thing for No Man's Sky back in the day. But anyway, yeah, so anyway, I got one, but I don't have a PS5, and I hopefully in the future I can just focus on PC games, depending on what I can afford with a PC in the future. But we'll see. So Helldivers. So okay, a lot of people have been talking about this multi-plat thing for a while now, and we'll talk about what happened with Sony a few days ago, last week, I guess. Which I think is great, by the way, and we can all debate about that if you want, but I think what Sony is finally seeing is that releasing their exclusives day and date on PC as well is beneficial, because it has more players on PC by a crazy number, which I think is great, because with the crossplay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who which console it's on. You know, Holly is playing with you guys on PC. Well, she's not, not with you guys specifically, but you know what I mean. And so the CEO, Toki, I know his last name's Toki. Toki?
Yeah,
Hiroki.
the interim
Hiroki
CEO.
Toki?
Hiroki.
Yeah, there you go. He's such a fun name. I love it. He is saying that they are going to be pursuing multi-platform game. I'm just paraphrasing. Pursuing multi-platform ventures very aggressively, and a lot of people are saying that doesn't mean it's coming to Xbox. Well, if even if you wanted to say that it's cloud or it's mobile or whatever, there still has to be a platform with cloud. Okay, and who's the market leader in cloud gaming right now? So anyway, it's a lot of things I just said, but okay, DeMarco, you and I are I think agree on this. We don't want any exclusivity. Is kind of anti-consumer to a certain extent. We want games to be everywhere, but unfortunately, we have these two warring companies that are with PlayStation and Xbox. Do you think the future looks bright with Helldivers and its success, do you think this is going to have a change in tone for Sony in the future of putting their games day and date on PC?
I'm curious because it's sort of been announced that their strategy might include keeping the year exclusivity to consoles, and then they've it's been in their plans to port over their games to PC, right? So if Sony decides, hey, with any of these live service games, because we also know that they wanted to take more of a live service game approach, which I'm not 100% a fan of. There's good and bad live service games. I think Helldivers is a decent example of a good live service game. There's things I do and don't like about it, which is a separate discussion. But I would be happy to see more day one releases for all games, right? And we've talked about this before. Allowing players to go to the platform of their choice, on top of being able to, I can play Helldivers with Holly, even though she prefers to be sitting on a console, using the controller, whatever it might be. I can do that. That's a luxury that I would like to see Sony continue to pursue. It's a luxury I hope that Hitoki Totoki continues to push while he is interim CEO, because obviously Jim Ryan was pretty adamant against that. We're learning, like he didn't want that to happen, and now that Totoki is able to set a couple new standards, that's stellar. And if it stays after he leaves, that's even better. Because the amount of people, this should really serve as a wake-up call for Sony. I think 100% this should serve as a wake-up call for Sony. And it wouldn't just settle at their live service games. It would be for all their games, I guarantee you. Would see similar levels of success on PC. So if they continue to do that for another Horizon game, if they did that for another God of War game, if they did that for
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
Yeah. You're right.
I think Bloodborne should happen at some point. But any of these titles, whatever Insomniac is going to be doing next, I don't know if they're jumping right into Spider-Man or if they have a project. Oh, Wolverine, or is Spider-Man coming before Wolverine? Do we know?
Spider-Man 2 coming to
It'll definitely be
Wolverine.
No, Wolverine's next.
Wolverine is next. Okay,
100%.
so Wolverine day one on PC, like that would be awesome. Why not? More power to the players. Take a lesson from GameStop's book. Power to the players. Remember that?
Right. Come on, GameStop. Show Sony and Xbox how it's done.
How to do business.
Right. Call it the Games Box, their new branded console. I don't know. Jonas, you're mainly a PC guy, right? You're only on PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think, with the success of, because by the way, I don't know if I said it already, Helldivers 2 is doing really good numbers wise. It was almost at 500,000 concurrent players.
I mean, the server capacity issue is because they didn't expect it to be such a big success. Like,
right, exactly.
Exactly.
Which happens all the time.
The CEO's been putting out statements on Twitter from time to time. He at one point was just like, "Hey man, if you want to buy the game, just wait." It's like he's telling people not to buy it because their servers can't handle it. They're like,
he's hey man, we want to make money and stuff, like, but
just don't play it right now.
Just wait a bit.
I love how they're like,
they're
we don't want to
also
deal with the refund hassle. Just wait. Like, because you're gonna.
Well, did you see? People are not logging out; they're just staying on their ship overnight because there's no AFK timeout.
Oh, okay.
I think they were indicating that they were working towards a solution for that as well, so that if you were AFK, it would kick you.
Which they should. They should have had that to begin with.
I know.
Yeah.
But again, they for what it's worth, but the day when this wasn't a problem when the game launched. And then it's just till the player count grew that it became a massive issue over the next couple subsequent days after launch. And at launch, it worked really well. I had zero problems with the game, and I was playing it a decent amount. So not that anecdotal experience encompasses everybody's experience. I always like to make sure that disclaimer is there, because there's always that one guy who's like, "No, I was trying to log in and it didn't work." It's like
Right. Or the
But
people
that's
that are
also
like,
some of the fun with this game is the immense success it has had. That's outside of what the developers were expecting. Like, and it seems so
keep
organic as
talking.
well. Like,
mhm,
we,
mhm.
like you were saying, well, it was no issue when the game launched and the couple of days following, and then word of mouth. This is so much fun, and people were asking friends, "Hey, you got to get this game. We got to play together." You convinced me it's worth it, and here we are. The servers just can't take the amount of players wanting to get in, and yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna bring this up too, but when people are making comparisons to things such as Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, that had, these, you have games like Pal World and Helldivers that are under $60, not even the new price of $70, and they are outperforming.
Yeah.
Now, given the one thing that just sets that little wiggle in the back of my head is that both Pal World and Helldivers rely, I don't want, I appreciate my single player games, so I don't want this to send the message to developers that
No.
we need to start making co-op experience, like everything needs 4-player co-op, because we
The
sort of
lesson
went
to be
into
learned.
that phase. I thought we were going away from it, and it seems like with the success of these games, they might kind of tilt back in that direction. Not immediately, because games are already in development, but
I get you, and I think the correct lesson to be learned here is smaller studios who are able to make risks the larger studios are unwilling to make because it's too risky. They see the success that risk brings, and that's why I'm happy to see smaller studios get this sort of success out of those design risks that they're taking. I saw several tweets over the past few days regarding the Halo franchise that former devs apparently were proposing several games and pitched several ideas that were similar to this, and like we could have had this with like Halo ODST like years ago, but like it's too risky. We don't want to do it. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, which is wild. Can you imagine? I mean, we heard rumors. It might have been the 31st time that it happened with Tatanka.
Tachanka is a planet in Mass Effect.
That's what I always get confused. It's not Tachanka, it's Tatanka, right? Whatever. Anyway, it was the Battle Royale Halo game, and it was supposed to be, well, just that. And apparently that's not happening not the same way that, whatever. Holly, you're the smart one. With Helldivers, with Helldivers, with his success. Helldivers. You can see the bugs, but you know they're sheet. I don't know.
That's even thank you, because that trumps his briskets, whatever they are. Helldivers. Thank you. Now he can't argue.
There you go.
There you go.
there you go.
Thank you. Thank me. Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think? What do you think about all that stuff? With the success of Helldivers, changing the narrative. No, not the narrative. Changing the mindshare within Sony. Going multi-plat with, or sorry, excuse me. Going PC day and date with some of their games. You think it's going to change? Is this the beginning of the end of the console wars? Well,
That's a big statement, I think. In a perfect world, I agree with you, DeMarco, and then you, Red, probably kind of feel the same way. Like,
We're idealists.
mm-hmm.
Men
Like
of the people,
we would be working to a point where there's just somebody making hardware, but it's all about who's published, like the publishers making things. That's how I think about it, right? And I do think it's very interesting that now, games started on PC and then went to console grew, and now it almost seems like everything's starting to diverge back to PC.
Mm-hmm.
So it only makes sense, and I 100% think that Sony is definitely going day and date on PC sooner rather than later. To me, probably. sooner rather than later. Because like I was talking to Cold about this last night, there's a drop off for any whether you're talking about releasing on Xbox and then going to Sony after a timed exclusive or vice versa. Either way, there's a drop off in the potential amount of sales that you can get on that later timed console because the marketing's gone, the hype is gone.
Yep.
Like you're just not getting the same pool of friends playing the same thing so that you're talking about the game with each other, even if it's
FOMO.
single player, right?
Right.
So you are, even though you are releasing it somewhere else at a later date, you're still missing a lot of sales by doing that. So I think for them, financially, they're in a point where they're looking at, we need to figure out what to do here, right? And PC is just, it's an easy win because they're kind of already doing it and they're making some money on it. And I'm sure they've done the math. Helldivers was probably an excellent test case for them to just write off, well, it's just a multiplayer game. It's small. Don't worry about it, right? And then we're seeing that over 50% of the players are on Steam. Maybe as much as 70%, according to some people. Not quite sure about that number, but that's a huge statement probably to Sony about where their games are going or could be going.
Where their players are.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd be
I think.
really,
Yeah.
I'd be really curious to see what the player numbers are for Helldivers on PC versus console, but B, how many players you spoke to, sort of people aren't going to buy the game because the buying into the hype side of it sort of dies away after you wait a year for your game to come to the PC. I'd be curious too to see how many of those purchases, like for example, Last of Us is finally, Last of Us 1 is finally on PC, or Horizon Forbidden West is coming up next to PC. How many players who have been waiting for the PC release are now going to sit back and think to themselves, I have waited this long, I could just wait for it to go, because it's going to launch at $70. How many of those people are going to go, I've already waited this long, I could just wait for a sale?
Right.
And so you're losing, not only are you not capturing a large portion of the player base who just goes, there's other games coming out, I don't really need Forbidden West anymore, but how many of that money you're going to lose because the other portion of it goes, eventually it'll be $40 or $30.
I waited this long. What's another 6 months?
Yeah, well,
Right.
what's the big deal? Like, no one's talking about it anymore. I'm not getting spoiled about it. The next game
And
is
look at
coming for
the-
another 4 years, so I don't need to hop onto anything.
And look at the ports. Look at the ports that have come with those.
They've not been good.
They were not good.
So yeah, and then you're waiting for patches anyway until they get. So that's the number we're never gonna find that out, but that is a number I would love to see. As Assassin would say, I'd love to be a wall on that fly. To understand that one.
I think the one way to maybe circumvent that is to do remasters for those releases. Like you can think of how
No more remasters from Sony, please.
yeah, but I mean that's one way to okay, you have a remaster that is specifically ported for PC. You get the base. You can set the price at 70, and people will buy it at 70 because it's basically a new game again, if that makes sense. It's not the same version that you might have waited for before. And just see how many times Bethesda re-released Skyrim. Like, people will buy it.
Right.
That's true.
I think also like with the FOMO, I mean that right there is like such a the majority of people that like especially like okay, with single player games, like a lot of people are talking about this big single player game. They're not going to play with each other. It's just that the talk around it's FOMO. You feel like you're missing out on this experience, and by the time that you are a year out and that exclusivity has dropped from PlayStation to PC, you're like, well, this experience is really just about me now in my own little shell.
You missed out on the
sitting here in my
side
own
guy.
little shell. Right, and you're like, now let me see what all the hype was about, and you sort of lose, you sort of, you know, as a company, you would lose that person, and I'm just saying this one person as an example, multiplied by however many people you'd be losing out if you release on PC day and date. The excitement in the water cooler talk about how good it is in their moment, in this moment, or whatever. Yeah, you guys make such a great point, and that's, you literally said what I was gonna say. The hunger for the games for PlayStation is there. A lot of people play on PC, and I mean, the fact that Xbox ecosystem, you know, we're used to stuff coming to PC. We're already on Xbox. DeMarco, you're a perfect example. You're on PC. You don't have PC Game Pass, but you're on PC.
I did,
right?
I had PC Game Pass for a very long time. I just was having trouble as of late justifying paying $10 a month amongst all the other subscription services, like Hulu and Disney and Netflix and you know, too many. Right. It just makes it's just subscriptions. It makes me sick. So I had trouble justifying another $10 a month. And usually what I do is I'll bounce around, but I don't want to get off topic with that. Right. So I love Game Pass. I think it's great, but just right now I don't have it.
Right. I think I made my point. I don't know. But yeah, so okay. And Helldivers, by the way, is, what is it, $40 in the US?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Jonas, is it also $40 for you?
No, it's in our currency. But
what's that?
It's the Norwegian krona, crown.
Are they like little tiny little little coins in the shape of crowns? Oh.
No, they're shaped like coins.
Oh, okay.
No,
they have crowns on them.
It's more like I don't know what the currency is in US dollars right now, but it's 450 Norwegian krona.
Okay. I love that. I love how you said that. And that's it. That was a beautiful story about your heritage. Put this up here. Crippling Debt says you lose the ability to talk. Sorry, I'm so laughing at the stupidity that I am. You lose the ability to talk to your friends. I hate that this is a hard thing. It's blocking his to your friends about it when you're both excited about it. Exactly. Yeah. And he's like, bro, I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game right now. And he's like, shut up, Derek. I'll play it next year. And then by the time that Steven is playing it, he goes to tell Derek about it, and he's like, old news. And then they break up. They're no longer best friends. And then he asks him to give him his what is it called? The Yeti cooler back? I need my Yeti cooler back. And he's like, bro, we're not friends anymore. Anyway, I don't know. But this is good. So
this is good.
I love it. The Adventures of Steven and Derek.
Make a graphic novel out of it. Pitch it to Warner Brothers so it'll never get made. So they'll make it and then cancel it 3/4 of the way through so they can get their tax return back.
Exactly. Right, exactly. And then they'll get all the fans hooked and then ruin it with a sequel that no one asked for. If you know what I mean. If you get the. It's
like you've seen this happen before.
Weird.
What?
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
Recently, yeah. Let's see. What the hell? Let's see. Colt just texted me and said, I'm blocked on your YouTube channel. I have been chatting and I'm not showing up. This is interesting because there's some
That's
BTS.
Assassin.
It's Assassin. He blocked. Oh my god. That doesn't make any sense. I don't. So Colt actually super chatted in $20 super chat last week, and I actually have a list of all of my super chats. Like whenever you go look at your income or whatever. Code is the only one that's not on there, and I don't know if that's something that I need to look into. So I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that. I don't know how to go look at that.
Maybe he's hidden by accident. If you want to do it now or later, but on stream is probably not the best place for it.
Probably not. Yeah, Cole. I had to look in that. I don't know, but that's funny that you say that. I guess that makes sense. Something has blocked you. I don't know. No one would have done that as a joke. That's not cool. But I apologize.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Lotus
and-
is here as well.
Yeah, Lotus Esprit just jumped in,
And-
and they say, "Hi, I just got through, and I'm blocked from super chatting with you." Yeah, I don't know. Something is awry. I have no idea. But Lotus can actually chat, so that's interesting.
So at least he's not all the way blocked.
Super chats could be off for the stream. That's possible.
Sometimes super chats just don't work for me too. Like
Mm,
sometimes
okay.
they just don't. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, and Lotus, don't feel obligated. You do not. It just do not feel obligated at all. I sincerely appreciate what you've done already. I also am in the process of like finalizing all of that stuff with super chats with monetization. So maybe that has something to do with something. I'm waiting on the pin in the mail and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, all that I care about is that you guys are here hanging out. That's really what matters to me. I just really appreciate you guys just being here. You know. But Colt, I'll look into that, and I have no idea what the hell's going on. Anyway, there's a list of blocked people. Okay, I'll look at that in the background. Happy Bum. I'll look at that right now. Let's get everyone else talking so I can look into that. So,
I sent you instructions.
Is this the filler?
thank you. Okay, I'll look into it tomorrow.
No,
Okay,
so
yeah.
let's pick, what's the next topic? We'll go.
The next
and then-
topic, guys, is that you want to keep talking about Sony, because there's a Nintendo Direct we had to talk about. But so Sony's stock has dropped 10 billion, and again, you guys know more about this than I do. But from what I understand, they dropped the price in PlayStation 5 console, and that had an impact. Do you guys know anything about this?
I can't speak to Sony stock dropping. I could just say that I think overall the market was down today. Like I know that Nvidia, for example, Nvidia, which has been, if anybody follows the stock market, out of control, literally out of control, exploding as far as how much per share. They recently saw that start to boomerang a bit, so it's coming back down. AMD, I think, is also following a bit down, so it doesn't surprise me that PlayStation would kind of see that effect as well if a lot of these, and again, this is with my limited knowledge, I haven't followed it closely enough, but just if some of these tech companies are sort of seeing a reversal, because everything in the market has been pretty inflated as of late, so if there's some sort of reversal coming, it could be part of that as well. Definitely tied to the dropping of consoles, but it doesn't inspire too much confidence, I think, when Sony themselves has been talking about how, you know, there were the reports about the PlayStation 5 is at the end of its generation, and that was sort of taken out of context because, of course, your GameSpots and your IGNs, and maybe they weren't the ones at fault for this, I'm just using them because they're the ones that come to mind, were talking about how the PlayStation 5 is reaching the end of the ladder of its lifespan, and everyone was always, oh my god, I only have another year for my PlayStation, and if you actually read the article, it goes, no, you still got another good 4 or 5 years out of it. You know, there's plenty of time with the PS5 before they're ready to go, the length of a normal console generation, but headlines didn't explore that information. So if there's any kind of market scare from that type of stuff for PlayStation as well, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Didn't they also say recently they're not releasing any new games for a year or something?
That as well, yeah.
Yeah, not first party.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of impact that would have, but
You'll see a bit of a recoil. You'll see it dip a little bit.
Not much though, I don't think.
yeah, I
What's
wouldn't
more,
imagine that would have too much of an effect.
yeah, I think what's more effective right now is that a couple things. The economy is in a weird place, and it's not on the incline, it's on the decline, or in, you know, potential recession area. So people are spending a little bit less, and then also people aren't gaming as much as they were during the pandemic. So there was a huge up spike in all of that, right? And now people aren't gaming as much, and either they're just not buying or they're selling off the console that they bought during the pandemic and now they never use it, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
come back.
Brett, did you figure it out?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
We'll
I'm
keep
trying.
talking.
I'm trying, and I'm sorry to everyone if you're trying to chat and it's like blocking you out. That's so weird. But I'm trying to figure it out. So speaking of blocking things, I blocked out everything that everyone said. So sorry about that too. Wee. And Lotus, you are very welcome. No one in this community deserves to be bullied and talked to. And shout out to Colt, and what he went through, like I said earlier, was just bullshit. So that was just, I hate it. I hate seeing it every day. It's so stupid. Anyway, so Nintendo Direct is coming up. And again, talking about ports and whatnot. Do you guys care? Okay. So this is on the opposite end. Good. I'm glad you're excited, Marco. This is coming from a few different leaks. Let me end this Sony poll right here. Let's see. 73% of people said I'd hit that, bro. In terms of PlayStation games coming to PC day and date, they would get up in there. And 999 is for everyone. Uns. There we go. Yeah, thanks guys for participating in that. So there have been a couple games that have been rumored to be going from Xbox to Nintendo. Hi-Fi Rush, of course. What's the other ones? Killer Instinct,
Sea of Thieves,
Killer Instinct,
Grounded, Pentiment.
That's right. There we go. So on the topic of, I guess we're just going to keep talking about the same thing over and over again. Games are going everywhere, it seems. Certain games are going everywhere. So it looks like the bigger games, like, and this is like in a perfect world where you have like the bigger games, you know, that sort of define a platform, like Halo on Xbox and Starfield and Bethesda games on Xbox and PC. And then you have PlayStation, known for its big cinematic, those kind of games. I feel like for each respective genre, for each platform, those games we can expect to stay on the console. I think that's sort of what, and even Totoki, say that right?
Hiroki
Totoki.
That's what we called them this show, Hitoki Totoki.
Totoki. Yeah, there we go. So even he was saying, like, you know, that they're looking like their focus is still on first party. And it's kind of what Phil said, like, we're focused on first party. I mean, he didn't say as much as Phil said, but you know what I mean. But it looks like this is writing on the wall. The smaller games that have been on the platform for a long time, we could see go to other platforms like Nintendo and PlayStation, which I think is great. I mean, it's like we've had our time. It's like, who the hell right now is playing Hi-Fi Rush for the fifth time still, and they're going, I play the game every day, bro. I beat it every week. Like, I'm playing it. Been playing it every day. My dad plays it. My dog plays it. Like, why are you holding this so close? You've had your time with it. And I think that's why, like, to an extent, timed exclusivity would be the way to go if you want to sell a console and the consumer is so excited they're going to go out and they're going to buy a console because they cannot miss. They cannot miss out on this. Again, the water cooler, the FOMO talk. I can understand. That would make sense to me, them holding those big AAA game, quadruple A games closer to their chest to sell their consoles. So, you know, what do you guys think? Holly, you know, is this a good thing for the future, you know, with Nintendo? Do you think, you know, tell me the truth.
So much pressure. Time will tell. Depends on the games that they're porting. The return on investment for the time that it takes to change those or create those ports, right? And then who are they going to? Are they only going to Switch? Are they only going to PlayStation? Does it matter? Those games all have a very different dynamic, even though I would say they all had, well, not necessarily Sea of Thieves, but a smaller player base than, you know, maybe they should have had. We could talk about what your predictions are for, say, Pentiment on the Nintendo Switch, or Sea of Thieves going to all of them, maybe just one of them. I think ultimately games that are live service, like Sea of Thieves, is excellent to take to other platforms. It's just like Minecraft. You want to keep it going, you need people to play it. And so, the longer the game is locked to one platform, the less players you have, because eventually they move on. And the game is going to die at some point. I mean, they all die eventually, right? But it might die a little faster than the plans were for the IP. I would say that most people who do play Sea of Thieves play a lot of it and play it, pretty regularly. So for them, I would assume that they would much rather have an infusion of additional players and keep the game going a lot longer than to have the smaller same player base, right? And then watch it maybe die off a little sooner than everybody was hoping it would. We could talk about what we think, why those particular games were chosen. That to me is the really interesting conversation. Not sure what those thoughts are. Hi-Fi Rush, I can understand, because it does have a very unique kind of fun aesthetic, and I think it would appeal to a lot of people on the Switch. I think that one looks particularly interesting for the average Switch consumer. Pentiment, that one's a little bit of a head scratcher. I think it didn't have a huge audience. I don't know how much of an audience it's going to get on another platform, although I do think that, it should have its time in the sun. It was rated very highly, and it's a really, really pretty game. But it's very adult, too. And I don't think, I don't think a 10-year-old with a Switch is going to sit down and be like, Pentiment, yes, what is a Pentiment, right?
Right.
Let alone this
Pentiment,
murder
Daddy.
mystery that's in the game. So,
Right, exactly.
You said your first word.
Right. Pentiment. So that's my thoughts. I think all of the choices kind of make sense in their own way, except maybe Pentiment. But it's not that I don't want it to, have its moment in the sun. I just think it's a little bit of a different choice.
I actually think Pentiment will be a perfect game for the Switch. To me, it looks
Okay.
like a really nice game to have on a portable device.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Like it's an interactive story in
Mhm.
more ways than most games are, and just it's like I can see that I can see people like playing that on the go, like reading a book on the go, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
It's-
And
it works
it
for
reminds
bit
me a
more
lot
for
of-
the audience.
Sorry, Jonas.
No,
Sorry,
sorry.
go ahead.
There's. I know we sort of joke about the Switch being more of a, a platform for, or Nintendo has more games that you associate with being for kids, but they do have a big audience that is more grown up
Mhm.
than we give them credit for.
I would agree with that too.
Sorry, back
Okay.
to you.
I think I fixed it. This is so weird. Shout out to Salva and Grim Tango XL who just jumped in the chat. Thank you so much for joining and hanging out with us. We were having issues with chat. I think I fixed it. And thank you, Colt. There was a few people that were blocked. Like Monad was blocked. Palpatine was blocked. Colt was blocked. I don't know. Anyway. Everything should be fine. So if you were hidden before, we were not ignoring you. I don't know why the hell that happened. Anyway, King Chocolate, hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out. Okay, I'm back and I'm focused now. Okay, anyway. There we go. Here, monitors. Oh, yeah. Oh, Colt. Yep, I know what happened. Yep. And that person is no longer a moderator. Yadani. No, I'm just kidding. It was not you. It was somebody else. And I think that's exactly what happened, to be honest. Anyway.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yep.
Wasn't me.
I
I have
got
an
it.
alibi.
Oh, it's
yeah,
yours.
exactly. Here we go. Boom. There we go. Congratulations, Cole. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Anyone? Anyway, everyone. If you're there, we go. Palpatine's back. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell was going on there. Anyway,
It's used to
chat.
getting blocked.
Let me guys know. I'm sorry, Palpatine. I did not do. I know what happened now that Colt mentioned that, which is fucked up. But chat, I want to know what you guys have been playing this week. Has anyone played Banishers of Ghost of New Eden? I want to know that. Have you heard of it? Have any interest in it? No. Anyone here a Don't Nod fan? A fan of the Telltale game? And excuse me, Life is Strange, those kind of games.
I played. I reviewed. You saw it, which was Don't Nod, and it was great.
Yeah,
loved it.
Yeah. Are there any like narrative choices in that game? Because that's kind of like what they're known for.
Not at all.
Okay, I didn't think so.
No, that whole game is very different. It's Jusant was Don't Nod's Grounded or Pentiment.
Okay, stepping out of the comfort zone and doing something.
It was different. So
okay,
but I like Don't Nod. I think they're great. I watched ACG's review for it, and
yes.
he had good things to say, really good things to say about the game as well, and that was something that piqued my interest. But it's tough, you know. A game like, I think most people agree, Banishers is sort of a game that you either like that type of experience or you don't. You know, you
right.
either are in the mood for that, something similar to, what was it? It was and I don't know if you want to acknowledge that super chat while I find out the name.
Yeah, do it. Colt Eastwood, you do not have to do that, man. He gave a really very sexual, slippery $20 super chat. Thank you so much, bro. You do not have to do that. I appreciate it. Thank you. He said, shout out to my incredible temporary co-host, that blue number. Yes. Holly, you were on Colt's show. I was driving today, and so I couldn't catch up on the replay. But yeah, Holly is the temporary co-host for a little bit on Colt Eastwood's XNC podcast. Yeah.
The thing is, Mag was out of town, so.
Okay, gotcha.
Let me tell you, that
You're
was
on
my
call.
Meg.
Okay, gotcha.
That was
gotcha.
my Meg.
I
tried
saw
to
what you
do
said
Meg a
there.
couple times last night. Yep.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Did you do that, by the way, in the show?
I did.
That's awesome.
And I called out some poor guy, Pierre something Moreau, and I was like, "Listen, you son of a."
Nice. Hell yeah.
He was like, "I just said you had a nice voice. What the heck?"
That's
It's
fantastic.
a good time.
That's a great.
I'm fully waiting for.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I'm fully expecting Mag to roast me, and it's going to be glorious.
He didn't say anything
Love
to
it.
me, and I'm like, that's probably because he doesn't like me. And we're both bald. Come on, man. Us baldies got to rub our heads together and make a wish. You know what I mean? Monad says, I have 44 hours in Banishers. I have heard it is a very long game. I can't wait to play it. I got it for $9. $9.
How did you get it for $9?
I had a bunch of gift
Tell
cards.
me your secrets.
So I had 3 $5 gift cards saved from GameStop, just because I don't use GameStop anymore. And I was like, oh, look at this. They're trying to get me to come back into their little cult. Cult, not cult. And I also had a $50 gift card for my birthday. And so, yeah, it was like, I got it for like $9. I basically just paid for shipping. It was great. So, yeah, I got the game.
Nice.
Cannot wait to play it. And Grim Tango says Helldivers 2 has a great server, is at full capacity screen. Oh, right. That's what I've heard. You know what they should do? Do you guys remember when they used to, like, Dragon Ball Z games, fighting games used to have this a lot, where they used to have this interactive load screen? You remember that? Yeah. So you'd have like something to do like while you're in there. They just need to do that.
Dude, the original. Do you remember like Champions of Norath?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I forgot. No, I brought this up before, and all of you guys had basically horrible childhoods. I remember now.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
The Champions of Norath. It was a similar style to the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers games, the Lord of the Rings games on like PlayStation 2. No, none of it.
I played
Baldur's Gate,
was
Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I played Lord of the Rings Conquest, War in the North. War in the North was dope, by the way.
Yeah, but you guys had none of these games because I everybody else on the planet besides you three. Anyway, so fantastic games that you fantastic games that you didn't experience. Some of the best games back then. Specifically Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance it wasn't like a mini game, but you could the loading screen there was fire coming out the loading screen. Then with the joysticks, you could move the fire like.
Oh, right. Yes.
Come up. It's like you'd be playing with that while you wait.
Then they had like the Dragon Balls.
There was, you know why all that stopped, right?
Why is that?
I don't remember what, but a company copyrighted or patented the right to interactive loading screens.
What? Was it Bandai Namco?
Probably, I don't know. It was a company patented interactive loading screens, and thus nobody does it anymore because they couldn't.
Probably
That's
Ubisoft.
what I heard.
That's
what I've heard, at least.
Holly, you got something to say?
No, that makes me mad.
Oh, you were right.
I mean, it's like WB patenting the Nemesis system.
That's what I was just. Yep,
no other studio can use it, even though themselves ripped off a number of other things from other games. It's horrible. It's horrible.
And now
stuff.
we're not going to get that until Wonder Woman, right? That's what the rumor is with the next Wonder Woman game.
Yeah, and who's excited for that anymore? After
right, come on, women in games.
I'm sorry,
on.
WB. I like your games, but I'm sorry.
It's not the latest one.
Right.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like we could have seen so many interesting iterations of that, and then WB be the ones that say, "I like what you did there. Respect. You know, imitation is the fondest form of flattery." I don't know if I said that right.
No.
No, I didn't. But you know what I mean. And then they come out and say, "But we created it. Let's show you how it's done." And then they come out with Shadow of Mordor, the Mordorians or whatever.
Shadow of Mordor, Mordor shadows, shadowy Mordor.
More doors,
more doors, shadow.
More doors, more shadows.
More doors, more shadows. The shadowing of doors.
Shadower door.
I love it. You guys are having a good time? Hit the like button. I don't have to tell you guys. I appreciate you.
Woohoo!
And thank you. The fondest form of fondue. Sculptus. I love that. Yeah. Jonas. Oh, great. Fantastic. Nice.
Whack.
I love it. Jonas, did you play the Lord of the Rings games? Did you play this Shadows of Norath or whatever?
I did not play the
Norath.
Oh.
I did not play that.
Show some respect, man. Classics. You're disrespecting classics.
Anyways, yeah, no, I didn't play that, nor did I play the Shadow of Mordor games.
Really? Okay.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Oh.
I was planning on playing them for a long time, but the time never really was there for me to buy it and play it. There was always something else on the radar.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, you can get them now. Yeah, it's a classic thing. You haven't played a game that's 20 years old?
$6.
Right, exactly. They're amazing. Especially the first one. And I don't mean that like the second one's bad, but the first one is a lot more simplified.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Second one was like, let's throw a bunch
the second
of
one
systems.
added cool things, but it just got messy in the process a bit.
Right.
And it just
Plus the
felt
first
more disparate.
The first time you do something too, it's always like the novelty of it is fresh, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And
they
had
things like the.
Yep.
Oh, go on.
No.
The Nemesis system, for example, was definitively improved in the second one, like noticeably improved. But there were other aspects where, for example, there was no. Do you remember? Like, did you get far in it in the sequel?
Me?
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I beat it.
Did you feel as though stealth was impossible because there was just so many enemies?
Yeah.
Like you could not stealth a section.
Right. And
unless it was scripted.
Right. Exactly. And I think that the reason that they did that is because they made the game much more RPG heavy, essentially, like a lot of like higher tiered loot and whatnot. Because in the first game, you were literally, whenever you got an execution, like you got like your execution combo, like in Batman, you hit Y and B at the same time, or triangle and circle. That person's dead. Like you are literally decapitating that person. In the sequel, you will do a finisher, and you like stab them in the chest, and then they'll like grab the sword, you know, and be like, like pull it out of them, depending. Yeah, and be like, and
I'm not ready.
right, I'm not ready. Exactly right, and like they'll have that awesome moment where like you'll try to do like a finisher on them, and they'll like grab you by the hand, and the camera zooms in real close to like this amazing dialogue, which is like my favorite thing about the Nemesis system. They'll be like, "You think you can stop me?" And it's this whole dynamic thing that happens in the game that is just so amazing. I love it so much. Yeah, Jonas, you gotta play it, man. You gotta play it. It's so good, especially if you're a Lord of the Rings fan. Man, Sean Bean is the main character. It's great.
You always need some more. Having Martin Septum in any game is a good experience.
Exactly right. Exactly. Yeah. No, honestly, for the longest time, I thought that it was Sean Bean voicing the character. And you'll never guess who voices the main character, Jonas.
You'll guess it.
No, who is it?
Take a wild guess. Who would do a great British, crippling debt says spoiler.
Crippling.
I don't think I spoiled anything. I'm usually very good about it. If I did, I apologize. I don't think I did.
Is it Sean Bean?
It's
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But he does like. What? Why you gotta tell me the main character does like? What the heck? He doesn't. What are you talking? Okay, you're messing with me. I see. Okay, all right. I'm being trolled. Fantastic. I like you, crippling debt. I like you. Anyway, Holly, what's your favorite Lord of the Rings game?
I played Shadow mostly. I didn't play too much of the second one, which is something that I do need to correct because I really did enjoy the first one a lot. I don't know, like they are downloaded and waiting. They're in the archive. Just, man, it's like when you have time and you're like, okay, I could go back and take something off of the list. It's so flippin' daunting to go through everything and be like, which one is it? It's like,
especially when you know their commitments.
Yes, it's anxiety. You're like, this is like a 10-hour. This is like 40, 50 hours easy. This is more than that, right? So those are in the it's a beefy boy category. Yeah. So I'm always like, no. And I want to go back and play. I played a ton of Mad Max, but I never actually finished it.
Oh.
And I'd like to go back and do that all the way through too. That was fun.
What is it that he said? What does he call him? He doesn't call him a stranger. What does he call him? What's he call him? The little guy with the hunchback guy.
Oh, I don't remember. I played it at launch. I don't remember. It's there you go.
Anyway, great. Anyway, Salva says, I have the problem of purchasing about 10 games a week, but finishing maybe one a fortnight. I keep gravitating to RPGs, which is madness. Exactly. I have finished. They say I finished Mad Max last week. It's fantastic. Yeah. And I hear you. Whenever I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna bounce back and forth between 2 or 3 RPGs. I am a psychopath because that is really hard to do unless you're like at the end of an RPG. Like I'm at the end of Cyberpunk. Like I can take a break and go to. I've been playing Dragon Age Origins again, or Dragon Age Oranges, which is fine because I can juggle that. But I get it. Chum Bucket. That's who it was. Thank you, Palpatine. Chum Bucket. Monad says, I can't wait for the ability to play my own games over cloud gaming. Okay. Are you excited for that?
That was an announcement. Well, not an announcement. That was an announcement. It was somebody text Phil Spencer on Xbox Messages. Did you see that?
No.
And asked him. They asked or said it would be really great to be able to play my games that I own that aren't in Game Pass on the go, and he said should be coming this year for xCloud. So the games that you own that aren't on Game Pass, you should be able to play them on xCloud on the fly.
That's
so
fantastic.
Would you be streaming them from your own console, or how would that work? Because
they're your ally or your
No,
Steam
I
Deck
mean,
or whatever,
because when you're streaming games on the cloud, you're doing it from one of their servers, right? From one of
Right.
And it has to be a game that they have in the library there. If it's a game they don't,
Well, it
have
have to
their
be in
library-
your digital library, right?
Well, are we talking about the games you can stream if you have Game Pass?
No, they already do that.
Yeah,
We're talking about all the games you own, whether they're in Game Pass or not. As long as it's digital, you should be
You
able
can
to
play it
access
through the
them.
Cloud gaming.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just more access to games when
Yeah.
and where you
Yeah.
want them and how you want them.
That's a good.
And high fidelity too. So I guess that means if Red wanted to play games on his PC and he owned them on Xbox, and he could play it at a higher resolution because it's going, he could have his 1650 GTX card from 100 years ago, and nah, it's a good card.
Too.
But
We
he could still
PC
play it at
shaming.
higher
Who you
fidelity.
It's fine. It comes naturally to them. It's fine. Not like them. I just mean
Them.
them.
Whoa!
Yeah, those people.
PC.
Yes, me people.
All right.
So, but that's a good thing too, though. So you can appreciate the games kind of the way they were meant to be played, in a way, like the way they're meant to look versus having to compromise on your visual fidelity.
Right. I think the biggest thing that people talk about when it comes to cloud gaming, obviously, is latency, right? And so it's the internet issue.
Right.
But we're looking at buffering. A lot of people are talking about like buffering tech software, whatever that they're implementing that's going to help with that. I don't know how that works. I'm not a tech guy, believe it or not. Tay Talks. Thank you for jumping in here. I've never seen you before. Anyone who's new to the show,
Tay's awesome.
Okay,
Tay's a really good dude.
one of your peeps.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, thanks so much for jumping in here, man. I really appreciate you. And if you guys are new here, consider subscribing. Leave a like at the least and sub at the most. That'd be sick. Tay says cloud gaming via xCloud is good. Progress is a bit slow overall, though. Really, the quality, the quality of it should be more akin to Stadia or GeForce, but unfortunately, it isn't. Still a good feature, though. Yeah, it's coming along, and like we talked to like Fonz. Shout out to Fonz Gaming. He is loving cloud gaming, but he has terabyte internet, or was it gigabit internet, whatever the big dog internet is, and he loves it. He's like, now that was before he got his 4090, but he was using it and playing everything that he could possibly play. But yeah, those are really good points today, and I do hope that they improve their tech in the future. Yeah, go ahead, DeMarco.
I think it's worth bringing up too, like when I I don't want to bring it too far into this tangent, but everyone's sort of worried about like, well, if Xbox goes away, we've had this conversation I think last week. If Xbox goes away, then PlayStation doesn't have competition, and that's a factor that people are worried about. And I've always been at the stance where no, they're still going to have competition. It's just going to come in a different form. Where I think I explicitly called out that it's going to be more similar to, and other people have said this. This isn't original thoughts, but where it's going to be more akin to, well, do you want Apple or Android? They do the same thing, but they just have different services and different formats and different. So some of that, Xbox's ability to buy games and then play them anywhere through xCloud, that's one of the reasons why, even if in this hypothetical situation, which we know it's not happening, but in the hypothetical situation where Xbox said, well, we're not going to be making a dedicated console anymore, they would still maintain some of that market share of people buying games through Xbox because of advantages such as that xCloud. Like, that's a prime example of it, where you can just play anything anywhere.
Right. Yeah, Jonas, what do you
Internet
think
issues aside.
Jonas, have you ever gamed on a cloud?
Yeah.
Did you float on, or did you fall right through like the cartoons?
It was alright. Like you've said, it really depends on your internet, and that was sort of back and forth with me. It was really great with more like games that aren't really that you don't really need the high responsiveness, like more turn-based games and stuff like that. So I played some City Skylines and some Skyrim, which is like, you need some responsiveness, but like that sword swing is kind of slow anyway, so you can sort of you can sort of anticipate. You can anticipate. Yeah, it's not a fast-paced shooter or anything. So no, it worked really great, and I'm very impressed with where the technology is.
Yeah, like I played Persona 5 last year. I was traveling and I was playing on my phone, and it worked pretty well because again, you don't really need to respond. It's a turn-based game when it comes to combat, and you're just running around talking to people. So it's a little frustrating there, but the latency, you know, we're used to immediate response when it comes to latency, obviously, with everything. And but yeah, for those kind of games, playing casually, you know, whatever, laying in your bed with your phone above you and it falls in your face and blacks your eye. That's what cloud gaming's all about, everyone. So excited for that. Let's see. PlayStation, Monad says PlayStation Day and Date on PC next year for $80. Yeah? Is he dropping another thing? Or is this another rumor? Are you messing with me, Monad? Huh? I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think so. That would be a little much. Like, hey, it's coming to PC, but it's more. Okay. Is that a thing? Why'd you gasp?
Tom Henderson, I think it was Tom Henderson, tweeted a few days ago about some predictions for the next generation of gaming, and one of them was that games are going to be $100.
F.
Nah.
F. What are they gonna do? Like put you on a mortgage plan for your games?
I will buy one game every 6 months at $100 base price point. Let me tell you right now.
It might be partly. It might be
You're
partly.
worried-
I don't think he meant day one of next gen, but within the next gen.
What I'm thinking is that might be true for some AAA
You mean quadruple A?
studios. Yeah, exactly, those guys.
Quintuple A.
Because they are so bloated, they need the money back for their games. But at the same time, we see all of those people that have been laid off recently, forming new studios and joining other studios that are not that huge, that are more like indie and AA, releasing banger after banger, competing with the big boys. Releasing games at $40. So, we might see some $100 games, but they're going to be competing with more fun games that take greater risks, which are cheaper. So.
And I think ultimately those are going to win in the long run.
Absolutely.
Right. Mona says that's $150 to $52 there. That's crazy. Grim Tango XL says sources. Trust me, bro. Right. I mean, sometimes it turns out to be true. Tay Talk says $100 games I get as long as games are varied in price, 40 to 100. It makes sense. A Baldur's Gate 4 will likely cost an additional $100 million. I see why they need their return back. And I think that's why, we heard Take-Two saying that, for the time and money that we put into this, the quality of GTA 6, GTA 6 should be a $100 game. And honestly, I mean, as we go along into the future as gamers, I could see a future. I don't want this. I could see a future in the next 15 years where games, the majority of AAA games are $100, and you have a month to pay your game. So you pay $40 to get the game, and then you're due another $40 to pay, something like that. You know what I mean? That's not 40 plus 40 is 80. I'm sorry, 50, and then you get your $50. But then the thing is, how long? This is such an interesting topic, because a lot of people would say, how long is the game? It wasn't worth it. I beat it in 20 hours and it was an $80 game or whatever. And they say it wasn't worth it. It's like, well, there was more to do. You chose to fly through it and mainline the story, right? And we see the argument all the time. So if someone jumps into GTA 6, and let's say that they charge $100, you jump into GTA 6 and you beat it in 25 hours, okay? But there is 200, 300 hours worth of content in the game, Same thing like with The Witcher. You could finish The Witcher, the main story, in 40, 35 hours, whatever. There is literally hundreds of hours in that game if you want to do everything in the game. That's up to you.
No, that's impossible. You can't do it that quick. There's too many Gwent battles to do.
That's true. That is literally why I had 456 hours on my first playthrough trying to 100%, which I did. I did 100% The Witcher 3, except for the blood or the Death March. I didn't do that because I'm like, I don't hate myself that much. But but that's true.
Great.
I've heard it's really good. I just want to eat. I want to eat, and I'm obsessed with eating, sleeping, and drinking in games. Have you guys noticed that? Anyway, guys, do we see a future where they can sort of, I don't know if monetize is the way, games that are going to be really expensive and they somehow get away with $100 price tag, Jonas?
The thing is, they will still have to compete in the same market as these cheaper games, and I can see a development in reviews and review videos and stuff like that, where people are saying, yeah, it's a decent game, but for the same price you can get these 2 excellent games as well. So, and you start to see that sort of comparison, and then it's like, well, is it really worth the money for this really expensive AAA, quadruple A game? Anyways, if you could get 2 games for the price of it, like that, I think that's the way people are going to think about it moving forward, if that's the case.
Right. Tango says game layaway. They'll put ads in to offset the cost, right? And that's sort of what I meant. Like, if games get that expensive, no one's going to be able to afford. I mean, not no one, but the majority of us, the casual gamers, if they see again, GTA 6 on the shelf and they see it's $100, they're going to be like, Mom, what the hell? Raise my allowance. And then, I just don't see a world where they don't make it accessible to people, because accessibility is really important. That's why, again, guys, not a lot of people, like, I would love to have a PC. It's not accessible to casual gamers. Like, it's just not, because the price point is a little bit, it's a little bit up there. Let's see, Crippling Death says higher prices for games make subscriptions more worth it. I was going to get to that.
True.
Good point. That would likely go up a bit too. But still, and that is the truth. Like, like Netflix is going up. I remember when Netflix was like, what was it, $5? Remember that advertisement way back in the day? It was $5, and you had that they would ship there, and that was shipping, right? They were shipping you discs. This is before streaming, and then streaming became more accessible. So then their cost went down, and they said, well, they're used to $5. Let's go bump it up to $7. Now we're on on the streaming side, so we're not paying for shipping anymore. They slowly got rid of the shipping, made more money off of that, and it goes up and up. And now the quality, you could argue the quality has gone up with these streaming services. We have really big, high budget TV shows and whatnot on these streaming services, like The Boys and whatnot. And so, depending on and this is why people like DeMarco and I have 15 subscriptions with TV and movies. Well, I don't know about you guys.
I'm gonna tell everybody a hack right now if you don't get it through your phone bills or whatever, because I know a lot of times phone providers will give that stuff. You can get a bit cheaper, but if you don't have that luxury, you wait for Black Friday. Open up 3 emails. You need 3 emails, because for some reason a lot of these streaming services are obsessed with 3 years. I don't know why. That's just the rule. So you get 3 email accounts. Black Friday comes around, a lot of these streaming services will offer deals. So for example, right now, currently, I am paying, it's the ad plans. So if that annoys you to no end and you can't deal with ads, sorry, SOL. But if you can deal with ads, I have Disney Plus and Hulu. I got for about $4 a month for the whole year. Like individually, both of them are about $4 a month for 12 months on Black Friday. But they say you can't get this deal for 3 years. That's why you need 3 accounts. So you just go to a new email next year. And then you go to a new email the next year. And then you go back to the original one on year 3. And you just keep repeating that over and over and over again. And then HBO Max does something similar. HBO Max is a bit greedy because Warner Brothers. Not actually. I like Warner Brothers, but anyway. Warner Brothers does it for 6 months, and you can do something similar. So there's your hack for streaming services if you deal with ads.
DeMarco's camera just cuts off. It's like they've got him. You just hear him screaming, kicking in the background. They got him. We got him, sir.
You see Mr. Brothers himself comes out from the side.
That's funny. Look, everyone, write that down. I'll actually put that in the timestamps. Shout out to Arcane, who says, "Good listening for my commute back home. 10+ hour workday. Woo, goodness. Yeah,
I think to bring it back. Oh, sorry, hold on. That was rude. That was completely rude. You were in the
No,
middle
that
of
was really
talking.
rude. But let me read this. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, hang on. I just let me grab this real quick. Tay says, "DeMarco Hustler." Yeah. Tay also says, "Value is very subjective. Tears of the Kingdom didn't cost as much to make as Spider-Man 2, but yet they cost the same retail-wise. Eventually, there'll be more AA. There will be more AA games being made." As opposed to AAA, and a testament to that would be Power World, as you know, as we saw with the success of that. Games do not need to be AAA to be successful, and I think the focus on that has really tanked a lot of these. I'm not saying when I say tanked, I don't mean like the studios have died, but we're seeing a lot of like PlayStation and Xbox saying, and people on the outside of this community, especially, have said it's not sustainable to expect that level of quality out of every single game. So whenever Xbox isn't pushing out a Last of Us and a God of War, for example, and they decide to do something like a Pentiment, well, they're letting their creative juices flow. They have the freedom, right? Because they do have the financial support. But Power World is a fun game, and it does not look beautiful and extremely. The fidelity isn't like going to blow your butthole off. Yeah, DeMarco, were you gonna say something? I didn't want to.
Oh, but dude, look at Helldivers is a gorgeous game for $40 though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it's and so even if they wanted to go for high graphic fidelity, I think especially in this day and age, that the technology that is there, you know, just using Unreal Engine, for example, Unreal 5, like it just enables you to do that much easier than it was, unless you're going for a stylistic choice, like for example a Valheim. But I was going to say, I'm more concerned in regards to sort of the $100 price points. I am genuinely very concerned about what we saw with some of the Sony leaks about the Spider-Man 3 Part 1 and Spider-Man 3 Part 2. That just screams awful to me. Even if you turned around and you said, okay, we're going to sell both of these games at $50, right? But it's just you know for a fact that then they're going to have Part 1 and Part 2 both for $50, and then eventually they're going to have DLC for it, which is going to be separate, and then a combined version that brings them both together. It just sounds like an absolute nightmare to me. I mean, I can tell you, anecdotally, has everybody seen Across the Spider-Verse?
No,
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, Across the Spider, I'm not going to spoil it, but complete and utter, like, it just ends. Like, have you beaten Wolfenstein 2, Red?
The movie ends?
Anybody?
What the
movie
fuck?
ends. I know. You've beaten Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
Yes.
You know how when I think we've talked about this. We both felt the same way, where the ending of that game is just like over credits, and you go, wait, what?
Right.
and that's sort of how Across the Spider-Verse was, and of course that's that kind of broken into a two-parter. And I would expect something similar with these games, but the problem is games take a lot longer to come out. Yeah. And so maybe this shortens the development gap between games if they do it this way, but that I'm not looking for. I'm not looking forward to my games being sold in chunks to me, when for a lot of games already you can argue with sort of your free to play and your battle passes and your live service elements. A lot of games, and I know you don't get this with your major AAA budget titles, but they already feel like they're getting sold to you in chunks, especially with the live service titles.
Holly, what do you think about chunky games?
So DeMarco kind of hit on what I was already thinking about, maybe in a slightly different way. First of all, I just want to say that cost to value is subjective with video games, because there's plenty of games that I've played that are 10 to 20 hour experiences, but they have a very personal effect to me and were worth every dollar that I paid for them full price, right? And then I've played certain games that are 200-300 hours to complete, that if I had never played them, I probably would never have lost any, never lost any value, or just they're not memorable in certain ways. So having said that, it's hard to define what game is going to be quote unquote worth that value to you. Because I would argue Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the absolute best games I've ever played in my life. You tell me it was $100 and I'd be like, that's it. Like, you know,
right.
like
I
it
agree.
is so good. That game is just, it's been around a lot lately and it's on my brain a lot. I don't know why,
Yep. That's so
but
weird.
man, and I still get emotional just thinking about it, you know.
Yep.
But then, you know, Little Nightmares is amazing, right? And it's much shorter, but it was also weirdly impactful, or Inside. So there's that. My other thought is if games are going to, you know, start being more expensive for them to build, it always drove me nuts that Call of Duty didn't sell their campaign and their multiplayer separately. Because
Well,
for
you
years
don't
and
like
years, I don't like that.
You
And
want
for
them to be
years and
separate.
years, I do. Because for years and years, I had no interest in multiplayer. I only wanted the campaigns. And now I want both. But I don't think everybody should be forced to buy both with specific titles like that, right? Because the Call of Duty campaigns are always 4 to 6 hours long, maybe 10 at the most, right? It's a short single player experience, but they're also fantastic usually. The visuals are always great. There's never buggy. But people should be able to just buy the campaign if they don't want to play multiplayer. So if you split, so games like that where there are two components to it, I have no issue. I would prefer that you split them up. Now, whatever that split is subject to the volume, right, of both of those, or the content, right? Call of Duty, I feel like could and should probably charge more for their multiplayer than they do their
Even
campaigns.
with all the microtransactions that they include in them.
Yes, because you don't have to ever buy microtransactions. You buy the game once, and they do seasons throughout the year with free battle passes. So
But you think they should charge more for their multiplayer and still include premium battle pass and other microtransaction mechanics?
yeah, I have no problem with that because it's your choice to buy it or not. There's no impact. There's no impact on gameplay from your purchases of microtransactions. So, like, I don't have a problem with that. Fortnite is has it everywhere too, right? So
That's
nobody
free.
has to. Yes, but there's a lot of content in Call of Duty all year round that's free. It's not just you buy multiplayer once and it's just there and you do the same thing over and over again. They add stuff all the time throughout the year. So, and the vast majority of people who do play Call of Duty they brine it full multiplayer, right? But I think everybody appreciates that there's a campaign because the year that they didn't have a campaign with Black Ops 4, I didn't buy it. I know a lot of people who didn't buy it. So anyway, the moral of the story is different games have different, like, you buy Elden Ring for the story, but it has multiplayer, right? You can do that if you want to for like the PvP and the Coliseum. It's not my thing, but you know, if you charge me a little less for the campaign and then I decided I'll add $20 on for the multiplayer and check it out, then that's my prerogative, right? I don't know. That's kind of how I see it. Or like we've talked about with Halo, I really wish at the beginning of the year or March or whatever, they would drop like 3 chapters of a story for $40 or whatever it is, right? You could play that and then keep moving, play multiplayer all year, but then always have like a yearly installment that's short, but keeps you kind of in that universe.
Yeah, I can say I don't know. I feel like that's a double-edged sword because I get what you're saying completely, but on the other side of it, we've seen publishers take advantage of that mentality. So, you know, it's more likely to me that we would see, if people embrace that mentality of, hey, sell me the two things separately, that Call of Duty or any studio would just turn around and say, oh, okay, here's the $50 single player and the $50 multiplayer,
Sure.
and that's what we would ultimately get. And there's also the microtransactions in it. And you know, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that there were things with Helldivers 2 that I liked and I didn't like. And the CEO at Arrowhead came out and stated, you know, that we need to start defining microtransactions differently because we, you know, there's difference between pay to win and pay for something that is functionally different but on the same power level. And I was like, that's like actual content that I'm missing out on because I don't want to pay for your battle pass. Like I don't you know, so I think there's a really fine line with these types of discussions. I always walk on the side of I'm cheap and I'm cheap and I think about more as what is a better consumer friendly practice. And I think to how, you know, I go back to games like Battlefield 3, right, where no battle passes weren't a thing yet, and you paid $70 or not 70, you paid $60, and you got the whole game and everything in it, and everything was unlocked through gameplay, and it wasn't just grind this game for a crazy amount of hours to get that stuff. It was complete these challenges, you know, level up this gun, play the way that you want, and then you'll get rewards that are tailored to that play style. And you know, if you want to get the really fancy cool stuff, the crazy thing, like I think Battlefield 4 had a bow in it, but only if you did this challenge where you blew up a bunch of tanks or something like that in a very particular way. You know, if you really want to go for that, like you can do that, and that's now the type of thing that publishers would say, oh, that's super cool, battle pass, and now you can only earn it through that way. So I get the mentality, and I get the sentiment of, I would completely agree if Microsoft turned around and said, hey, we're going to do that, and the 6-hour campaign, yeah, it's going to be $20. You just want the campaign, just buy the campaign. It's $20, $30, whatever it is. Enjoy it. Oh, you like the multiplayer? Well, you know, we put a lot of time into that, so here's the $50 multiplayer experience. I would say it would be risk to even say $60 because, again, you used to get games for $60 where it would be the full game plus without the with some microtransactions, and then it would also be the single player as part of that whole experience. So now if you're going to charge me more, even though they're separate, I could buy what I want. I like that. But if you're still charging me more anyway to get them together, the same argument could be made where, well, these used to come together and now I'm paying more for it and I'm getting less because a lot of it's locked through the microtransaction store, so I'm not actually getting as much. So if we could trust publishers to act in a consumer-friendly way about it, I'd be in agreement. I just don't trust them. I don't trust them, and that's the reason why I would not 100% agree personally. But I get the sentiment.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Where there's money to be had, they'll take it.
Yeah.
If you give a mouse a cookie.
If you give a mouse a cookie.
Milk.
If you
If you give a mouse a cookie,
toast,
he's gonna want some milk.
That's
if you give a mouse some milk, he's gonna want some
toast
stuff, some toast.
There you go.
And if you give a mouse some milky toast, he's gonna want some milky chance. And then if you give
Or
him
a
a milky
rat.
chance, he's gonna want some good vibes.
Poor rat. That rat's gonna have a 5-star Michelin star toast with Michelin star milk, if that's what they're getting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see. Lots of people, and again, for Lotus, you specifically, I don't know what's going on. You are not blocked. You are not on the block list. No one is blocked anymore, and I think I fixed that. So I apologize. Maybe that'll just fix itself, and YouTube will stop doing what it's doing. I wanted to go back real quick, just very, very quickly. Tay talks. Tay, if you're still here, he says, oh God, I lost it. Never mind. He says, never mind. I lost it. No, I didn't. Nope. Here it is. There we go. Perfect. Nope. I lost it again. There it is. I didn't catch you guys' take on Xbox. Thoughts on the next Xbox system being an open platform which allows multiple storefronts like Steam, Epic, etc., etc. We did talk about this on our last show. I love it. Holly, your thoughts? Quickly.
On what? Sorry.
We're talking about the next.
I was reading the
console,
chat.
The next
Yeah.
next device from Xbox, allowing you to play your games on Steam and Epic and blah blah blah. So you would essentially be playing your PlayStation exclusives that are usually only on PlayStation console, but you'd be able to play them via the Xbox device.
If they don't do it next generation, I'm out. I'm selling everything, and I'm not talking about video games ever again.
There we go. Fantastic.
Just kidding.
I love it. I love it. Assassin, are you here? Sorry. Yeah. So I love it. DeMarco, you love it, right? You love it. More games for everyone. Better, gooder.
Games. Just give me games.
Yeah.
Just want
Games.
games.
Yeah.
It's
Jonas,
good.
you like
And
it?
also,
I just care.
I
about-
like it very much because it also means that if there's more marketplaces on the same device, that also means you could have more competitive prices for the consumer as well. So, hey, the same game costs. They have a sale for the same game on Steam versus the Xbox app or whatever, and then you have incentives for the other competitors to lower their prices as well. So, good for the consumer.
Right. I love it. There you go, Tay. I didn't want to leave that unanswered. Assassin Entertainment, who is a panel member, he was working right now. He had to work late. He says, respect to your mailman, guys. 3 days worth of mail and packages sucks more than DeMarco and Call of Duty.
I do suck at Call of Duty.
He says, just kidding, LOL, but not really. I don't know. We still love him. Yes, we do. We love him. Thank you, Assassin, for doing that, bro. You didn't have to do that. Yadani Kazada, Holly, you want to read that one?
Yodani's super chat.
Yodani?
Yodani super chat. Oh yeah.
You did-
Celebrating freedom for the hidden who were lost in limbo. You're independent from the clutches of the rogue mod. Freedom.
There we go.
Good.
Love it. Thank you, Yodani, man. I really appreciate that, bro. Seriously, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know what he's referring to, but I love the passion. Is that?
It's Helldivers.
Okay, I
It's
was about to ask,
Helldivers and
I should have known.
yeah.
And Braveheart.
Yes. Well, Limbo is from the Inside guys, right? They made Limbo before.
Limbo.
Inside.
Okay, Lost
Yeah.
in Okay,
Yeah.
I should have just.
Yeah.
It was so on the nose. I
Yeah.
was overthinking it. Okay, gotcha. Fantastic. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let me catch up here. I don't want to miss anything. Lotus. Oh, sorry. I already got that. Duder said milk toast conversation. Yeah, Duder. Eat shit. No, I'm just kidding. If you're kidding, that's fine. But anyway. But no, welcome to the channel, Duder. Be sure to subscribe and all that. But hey, look, if you guys are new here,
We're not the real
leave a
spicy
like
crowd.
at the least, and a sub at the most. That'd be great. I would love you for doing that, especially Duder. Let's see, Cinnamon. Monad says, "Will Xbox do the $60 COD upgrade for the early access like they did with Starfield? Oh, like to get early access and extra stuff? Oh, you're saying if COD is on
You could play
on Game Pass?
X days early,
right?
if you
No.
want
some
the
extra
deluxe
stuff.
version.
No, they
They're
won't.
gonna do that.
No, they
I
won't
s-
do it.
Probably. Why not?
No, they won't.
Don't they already do it?
I don't know.
Well, they do it with PlayStation because there's a marketing deal with ABK before they were bought by Microsoft. But Phil has been very vocal about the fact that he hates that anybody has anything different between the two platforms for Call of Duty. He said multiple times that he hates that there's early access. He hates that they get an extra operator or skin or whatever. He wanted complete parity across both platforms or all platforms that play Call of Duty. Which is why I thought Call of Duty wasn't coming to Game Pass.
Oh, but
Because
what if they did it like both on like PlayStation and Sony though, or PlayStation and Sony, Xbox and PlayStation, where they said
Xbox
you
and
could buy
Microsoft?
the $100 version, and on all systems
Well-
you get it 4 days early or 3 days early or whatever it is.
that maybe with some extra, like they do sell like the Black Cell edition right now, which is early plus you get the battle pass for the first season,
Yeah, that's what I would
plus
expect.
everything. Yeah, I that across all platforms,
Mhm.
that's definitely a possibility. Yeah, the Starfield though wasn't just for play early. It comes with the DLC, the Shattered, whatever it is,
Shattered
DLC
Space.
that's coming out. Yeah. So, how much of it is DLC versus how much is to play early? Probably subjective, but
Right.
I
Yeah.
Sorry, Yodani kills me. Holly,
Mhm.
I meant you look like. Sorry.
What?
Your haircut is awesome. It looks like it might just be like the shimmer, but you look like you have like rogue haircut. You look like you have like a white streak there in front. Or is that?
Oh,
just,
I
like,
do have
white?
some blonde. No, I have some blonde
is
in
that
the front.
okay? I was like, I keep seeing what's her name from True Blood. I was like, oh my god, Rogue, don't touch me. Whatever. Anyway, it's like, Tay Talk says
Don't
there
touch
won't be because it's Rogue. You know, she'll kill you. She'll suck you dry.
No, technically.
That's what they say to all the students. Don't get near her. She'll suck you dry. All the students in the in Professor X's academy.
Oh, Anna. Yeah. Okay.
Anna Diarmid.
True Blood,
No.
not
Anna,
X. Yeah.
Anna. Anna. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Tay Talk says that there won't be any early access, especially not yet, due to the FTC being out on their neck. But I also wouldn't trust Phil. Cool guy. Handsome, but he says a lot of things. Yeah, exactly. You never know. You never know. These execs, they're all handsome and they're slippery. That's true. Yeah, the FTC is on them now, especially after all the layoffs. So it's hard. It is hard to be comfortable.
But I don't think it would be a problem for them to do it if there was console. No
Parity.
If there was parity
And the
between
width.
consoles. Yeah, I was trying to think of
Yeah.
a different word to use because to be different. But if
Just
it was
to be different.
synonymous across all systems, and they offered the same thing, where exactly what you were explaining before, Holly.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anyone. Crippling debt. You better sub because I want to see more of you. I love your energy. I can feel you. And I don't mean to put that out there in the universe. I don't want crippling debt. I want the person crippling debt.
Everybody
Please.
else.
More of that in
BET,
my
no
life.
B.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to everyone who's hung out with us tonight. It's been awesome. There's not a whole lot to talk about tonight, but if you're new here, this podcast is more laid back, and we just sort of talk and hang out, and that's why it means more whenever you guys are hanging out with us and just sort of chilling. You know, we're not going to be serious, take things way too serious, being too serious, Bri. DeMarco, what did you all about?
I don't know who really cares about this, but two things. One is if you haven't and you're a Batman Beyond fan, check out some of the concept art. It was released by the guys who did the Into the Spider-Verse animation. They showed off some concept art for a Batman Beyond movie that they said when they first pitched it would, quote, never happen. And then that's what the headlines all say to get you to click on it. But if you actually read the article, we need some Twitter call outs for whatever it is, reader's notes. But it actually says the conversation has shifted to maybe. And it looks awesome. It looks like just this neon backlit, very Spider-Verse style, but with Batman Beyond, and it looks absolutely incredible. But also, any Magic the Gathering fans like me, I have several decks now. I got super into it, but they revealed a lot of the cards for the Fallout-themed Magic the Gathering deck. If anybody is interested in that, I myself am getting the dog meat deck. I also really, really want the mutants deck because it looks really fun. But
What
anyway,
deck?
that's it. There's a deck based around dog meat, and he's a really cool mechanic where he scavenges through your deck, so he'll have you milling or removing a bunch of cards, and then you find one that's useful, and then you get to use that in some capacity, so it's he's scavenging for you. I love it. And then they have a mutant deck where it's just a bunch of, you'll get your ghouls, your death claws, your mothmans, and they'll come out and they'll do a new mechanic called radiation damage to your opponent. So it seems really, really neat. They also have a Caesar's Legion deck, which is all about you get a bunch of creatures on the board and then you kill them because they're used as a currency because it's Caesar and the Legion. And then there's one based around science, which seemed at least less interesting. But what is he saying? Dog meat?
Happy Bomb. Yeah. DeMarco.
Yeah, dog meat.
Fallout universe, dog meat is your canine companion. He's a good little boy, but his name is Dog Meat, and so that is a character in the Fallout universe. Yeah.
Anyway, those are my two headlines for today.
Yeah, I saw that where they're sort of redoing the anthology collection along with all that and giving you cards and stuff too. Do you see that?
I ordered it.
Yeah. Oh, that's
The-
right.
the-
You did. I
the
saw
nuke.
that.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Fallout mini nuke. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
They're redoing the Fallout mini nuke. You could buy it again.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually cheaper now, too,
Yeah.
than it was when it first came out.
And that's
Definitely
on PC?
cheaper than it was on eBay. Like, yeah.
And
That's
the
awesome.
scalpers
Yeah.
were selling it for.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Happy Mom says, "Oh, that's way better than what I was thinking." Yeah, it is. And if you kill dog meat in the game, you know what you get off of him?
Dog meat.
So,
Yeah.
but don't do that. That never happened. I never
bad
did that. I never
vibes.
did that.
and a fast ticket to hell.
In a fast ticket to hell, yeah, exactly.
A one-way trip.
Shout out to everyone in chat. You guys are so awesome. You guys rock, and I really, really, really appreciate you. We all do for coming and hanging out with us, and especially all the new people that were hanging out with us. That is so awesome to see. Crippling Debt, Tay Talks. Let's see, Duder, super special shout out to Duder. Let me actually just pin their one and only amazing, just really insightful and respectful comment there. I love that. Can't wait to see you back next week, Duder. Yeah, Yadana Gazada, all the people, Lotus Esprit, of course, the Platinum community sponsor, essentially. Incredibly generous person. I'm sorry, Esprit. So I've been corrected many times. Are you an idiot? It's Esprit. It's the James Bond car. And Esprit themselves told me, they said it's like the James Bond car. I was like, I knew that already. So I feel like an idiot. But yeah, shout out to Lotus Esprit for being so generous and such a the people that like to latch on to the positivity. That's what we're here for, baby. I love that because we're all silly and fun. And Tay Talks, see Grim Tango XL, and I'm trying to grab everyone that I saw that was new here. Salva also jumped in, and I'm sorry if I missed anyone. But anyway, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Yes, Tay, you have a good evening. Evening. Your band again? Colt, don't mess with me. I don't know what's going on. I'm being hacked or something. Anyway. All right, guys. We're going to get out of here. Let's, DeMarco, who are you, man?
DeMarco, dude, check me out on, because eventually maybe I'll make a video at some point in the future, maybe, possibly. Who knows anymore? I don't. Anyway, DeMarco, dude, on Twitter and YouTube. Come hang out, or don't, because I don't make content. Who knows?
I should go.
Fantastic.
Ah.
Okay, I will, Colt. I got you, bro. Jonas, man, who are you, dude? What are you getting into?
What was that?
Who are you, man?
Who am I? I'm just some Norwegian guy hiding up in Scandinavia somewhere.
Gotcha. You got your like up in the storm. You got the snow attached to your beard, and it like icicles, and you're like, this will be good water for next time. And then you go into your hut and you let the icicles melt into a pot, and that's your drinking water for the week.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's tradition.
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on, man. I know it's late for you.
Hey,
It's
no problem.
really late. You're awesome for hanging out for the whole show. Really appreciate you. And anyone who doesn't know who Jonas is, everything that you're seeing here, he made literally.
Not all of it. You've been
Except
putting your stuff on top of it.
I know,
and
I've been
messing with
covering
it, and
everything up.
I've just stopped doing stuff because you're just gonna mess it up anyways.
No, exactly. Well, until I get a better PC, which I've been saving up for, I will be able to
It's
run the amazing animated background that Jonas has spent a lot of time on. But for now, this is what I threw out. And I did it like just for fun one day. I was like,
Yeah,
Put the shit
I
up.
actually saw it live when you did it.
yeah, when I was making Todd Howard jump around and stuff.
I was just sitting here like, no, what are
Stop!
you doing?
Look what they did to my boy. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, thanks, bro, for jumping on. For coming and
No
jumping.
problem.
And Holly, you were here as well. Who are you?
I'm me.
Nice.
Like, I'm that person up there, that blue number. Twitter, all of the platforms to do gaming on. I have like 4 PlayStation friends, so if you want to add me, that'd be cool. Although you probably see me like twice a year on there. But hey, we could be friends then. And that's pretty much it. I'm here on Tuesdays and on Friday nights at 6 Central. I am on the Infinite podcast with Brisket for the Biscuit and Infinite Umbra and guest. And Yodani's there too, and he's always in the chat saying mildly inappropriate yet wildly hilarious things.
Love it.
Yes. So come by and say hi.
Yes, yes. And everyone here, you can find everyone's link to their socials in the description below, including Assassin, who is finally heading home right now. He's not here today, but you can find him as well. You can go follow him. He's out delivering mail, all the packages. He's the package guy, you know what I mean? So, anyway, he's making it happen out there for those lonely grandmas, late night deliveries, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, and I'm Red Wolf. You can find me at Red Wolf Renegade on Twitter. Easy handle. Way to get my handle, baby. And that's also in the link in the description. Follow me there. You know, if you wanna follow me there. Everyone's message is being retracted. I don't know what the hell's happening. I feel like I'm being hacked. I don't know. I need to look into this weird banning, automatic banning thing. Anyway, the Milkman Assassin, exactly. Grim Tango, I love you. Grim Tango, I better see you next week. Subscribe. Oh, God, my mag is coming out. Oh, God, my bald man. Oh, man, I'm turning into mag.
Did you rub heads together? You rubbed
oh, shit, we did. Oh, no. We're, like, transferring consciousness. That's how it happens. You, like, rub him, and then, like, a fire starts, and you got to, like, get your... Anyway, it's a whole thing. Anyway, Yuzani says, weird how all the boxes have... What do you say? Have holes on them.
Put a hole in the box, too. Put your junk in the box.
We know. I love it. I love it so much. Anyway, you guys, leave a like at the least, sub at the most, and we will see you guys next week. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.